Hey guys, it's Marcus here, and as you can see we're back playing PES 2016. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, it is Master League, so we're back with the Crystal Palace Master League, the second episode of the first season. And of course, in this episode today we have 3 matches for you. We're still in the January transfer window, so stuff can still go on in the background, but the majority of this episode does actually focus on the 3 matches in the episode. As you can see here, there is Maicon, our new centre back from Porto, the 80 rated player, 27-year-old, pretty decent player. We're actually here playing against Southampton. Like I said in the last episode, I'm going to have to change the colours for some of the teams, but it does go. It's an absolute pain to do the change because you have to take off the kit which you've already put on the image, and then you have to re-upload the image. It doesn't take long. It's just I have to do it. So yeah, as you see from Southampton's team, they've not really changed much in terms of the actual players. They've got some McQueen guy, Steve McQueen, I would assume. Cedric at right back, and that's really about it. Everyone else is more or less expected, like Fraser Forster, James Ward-Prowse, Graziano Pella, and whatnot. So of course, with us, we're kicking off as well the first game of this episode. Of course, as you'd expect. But yeah, basically in this game in particular, this game was a very interesting game because I didn't play Jedinak in midfield, played James McArthur, and played Zaha actually behind the two strikers, between the two strikers behind the Castaños or Wickham, however the hell I played up front. But in the 30th minute of the match, Graziano Pella gets a strike away. Really good save from Alex McCarthy. Alex McCarthy has shown so far he's actually a pretty decent player in general. Going into the second half here, a lead on the right hand side, crosses it in, really bad header from the centre backs, and unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, unfortunately for them, it goes out of play. But in the 86th minute of the match, Jordan Much ends up getting a second yellow card for a horrendous tackle on a player, which, well, basically it was expected. I mean, it only took me 2 games to get a red card. So yeah, because that's what I do when I'm playing offline. I get to hack the opponent quite a lot. So yeah, going into the 88th minute of the match here, Suarez on the ball, tries to play it into Cabaye, doesn't really play it into Cabaye. Wanmi picks up the ball, really good defending from Scott Dan, and then Cabaye plays the ball away down the right hand side to lead on the right hand side, gives it into Connor Wickham. Wickham is just a horrendous player up front. Of course, with Crystal Palace, I'm still trying to get my best team together, so of course I'm not going to be able to play like my best team straight away and play the best football I can possibly play basically from the start of the season. I mean, I have to sort of get used to playing with players and whatnot, and they have to get used to playing with my team spirit. The team spirit, of course, is actually quite big in the offline portion of the game as well as the online portion, so basically it makes it a little bit more interesting. But as you can see from the stats, 4 shots to your target from us, 1 shot, 1 on target from Southampton. The game was boring as hell and literally nothing happened. But yeah, as expected, Lionel Messi wins the UEFA Best Player in Europe award because he's the best player in Europe. It was sort of expected, considering that's what usually happens at the start of the season. It's either him or Cristiano Ronaldo. It's very weird. But moving on, negotiations in progress. Dwight Gale has been received an offer from Flamengo for like 5.5 million or whatever, and I was like, I'm not going to play Dwight Gale anytime soon. So I end up accepting the terms, and I released Dwight Gale for 4.5 million. Sorry, not 5.5. 4.5 million. So Dwight Gale has left. He was only rated like 74 whatever, and I was like, he's not gonna play. He's not gonna play at all. So Dwight Gale has gone. So as you can see here in the second match of the episode against Newcastle, Jack Butland is in goal. He is our new goalkeeper. He's only rated 73, but I know for a fact that he's one of those players who's going to just shoot up in the ratings, be it the first season, second season, third season. Who knows? Basically, as long as I'm here at Crystal Palace, I'm going to be playing Jack Butland in goal. So, I'm not going to get rid of Alex McCarthy or anything. I'm just basically going to play Jack Butland a lot. But as you see from Newcastle's team, Steve McLaren as the manager, because I've updated that. Their base colour is red. I need to change that. I especially need to make that white. But as you see in their goal, they actually have Rob Elliott, which made no sense to me when I looked at it the first time. And I was like, where the hell did Tim Krul go? Tim Krul's left. I don't know where he's gone, but he's not there anymore, which is really weird because it would make no sense. But Jan Matt is captain for them as well, which I'm just a bit confused by because they're still playing Fabrizio Colaccini. But anyway, they kick off, of course, at St James's Park, and in the 70th minute of the match, Cabaye on the ball, former Newcastle player, gives it into Wickham. Wickham takes one touch and pings it past Rob Elliott like he's not there, and Wickham scores the first goal of the game to make it 1-0 to us. Now, Connor Wickham, I'm only playing him, of course, like I was just saying at the start of this episode, is I need to get my best team together, and of course, Castaños and Wickham, and Castaños is more used to playing with players, you play a lot more direct football, while Wickham's actually more used to playing with the sort of short passing. He improves my team spirit, while Castaños just basically leaves it at the same sort of level. So yeah, But in the 28th minute of the match, Sissoko on the ball, gives it into Tauvin. Tauvin just pings a ball to Alexander Mitrovic, and Scott Dan is just a horrendous defender. Mitrovic gets the strike away. To be honest, it goes straight through Jack Butland like he's not even there, and Mitrovic equalises for Newcastle. So into the second half, literally into the last minutes of the match, the 85th minute of the match, Mitrovic on the ball just runs past a couple of players, tries to play another through ball in, chipped ball in. Doesn't come to anything. Mitrovic, however, does get a strike away, and unfortunately for Newcastle, unfortunately for me, he hits it just wide. If this was PES 2015, that would have probably been a goal, and I'd be 2-1 down. But anyway, in the last minutes of the match, we get a strike away with Yannick Bolasie, comes to nothing, and we end up drawing against Newcastle 1-1. So not particularly the best start to the season. As you see here, I mean, in the last minutes, we try and get another strike away, doesn't really come to anything. But basically, not the best start to the season. We've won one game and drawn 2. So, I mean, it's alright for Crystal Palace, but I mean, with the ambitions of potentially winning the title, or potentially getting the top 4, we need to sort of be winning a lot more games on a more regular basis. You'll see the table at the end of the episode. If there's like more than one match devoted to one particular competition, you'll see the table at the end of the episode. You'll see what I'm talking about, because of course 3 matches today, all of them in the Barclays Premier League. So you see the table at the end of the episode. If there's like 2 matches in the Premier League, 1 match in like the Capital One Cup, for example, I'll show the 2 matches in the Premier League, not first, but like in the order that they come in. But I'll show like the table at the end of the second match and whatnot. So with that being said, moving to the last match of this episode, and it is against AFC Bournemouth, as you can probably see. And basically, we played again with we messed about with the tactics and whatnot. Of course, as you see, we were pouring rain again. We were playing some good players, but we were, of course, like I've already said before, I had literally just said like a couple of seconds ago, we're mixing it about to see who is our potential best players and our best fit for each position in our team. So the likes of Bolasie played, Wilfred Zaha played, Jason Punchin played, stuff like that. So the game kicked off as you'd expect with us in the pouring rain at Selhurst Park. And basically, from the kickoff, we were like, okay, we're going to go forward, try and get a strike away as early as possible, potentially score a goal very early. So Suarez down this left-hand side gives it into Bolasie. Bolasie does a roulette for some... Well, I did a roulette for some reason, I don't know why. And basically, like, that was a really weird game because Bournemouth are one of those teams who keep possession of the ball, but they literally just keep possession of the ball. As you see here for a moment, they just pass the ball for a bit, eventually do give it straight back to me. Jason Punchin picks up the ball, plays it into Connor Wickham like he's, like, basically just gets through on goal, gets a strike away, and it's a really good save from Artur Boric, and then the Wickham gets like pushed over by Sylvain Distin. It was just ridiculous. But in the 60th minute, all the way up to the 60th minute, I'm not going to bother showing the stats at half time anymore in some of the games, because majority of the time it's like 0-0 in terms of shots, and like nothing really happens in the first half. So in the 62nd minute of the match, Wilfred Zaha picks up the ball down his right hand side, runs past a couple of players, doesn't really get anywhere. Sermon picks up the ball, gives it to Jason King, and King just runs past a couple of players before eventually, like, he just like gives it into Daniels down the left hand side, who crosses it in eventually, because that's what they just love doing in this game. And they cross it into Pugh, and Pugh just heads it past Jack Butland like he's not there, and Pugh scores to make it 1-0 to Bournemouth. And I was like, my god, I'm going to get beat by Bournemouth, that's just ridiculous. So basically from kickoff, give the ball into Castaños, who had brought on as a substitute. Castaños pings it just wide, and I was like, okay, that's much better going forward, trying to get more shots away. And in the 78th minute of the match, Wilfred Zaha on the ball down the right hand side, crosses it in, Bolasie can't get to it, comes out to Suarez. Suarez just picks it down once, gives it into James McArthur. McArthur does eventually get a strike away. Really easy strike for Artur Boric to save. But from this, he throws it straight out to Pugh, who doesn't actually get the really good header contact on it. Gives it into Wilfred Zaha. Zaha runs past a couple of players that are not even there. Eventually gets a strike away, hits off the post. Now this is the most ridiculous goal I've ever scored, because of the fact that it's an own goal by Artur Boric, but when it came to Zaha pinging it in for a rebound, he actually hits it wide. And I was like, my god, like, you absolute fool. Like, if that had not been over the line, I would have been so annoyed, and it would have just been like the most ridiculous goal ever. But in the last minutes of the match here, Castaños not only gets the opportunity to actually pop it in the back of the net to make it 2-1 to us, but in literal last seconds, we get a corner kick, comes out, getting strikes away, trying to get headers away. Boric actually does a pretty decent job of defending, and then Sylvain Distin eventually does try to clear it. Bolasie does steal the ball off him. I try and give it into Castaños, doesn't come to anything, and the referee blows the final whistle of a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. So in this episode, we've drawn 3 games. We're unbeaten at 4 games into the season, but we're still drawing 3 games. As you see from the stats, they dominate possession. They only had 1 shot though. Pugh got man of the match, and yeah. So As you can see from match day 4, Chelsea beat Arsenal, Everton beat Aston Villa, stuff like that. But as you see from the table, Liverpool and Man United are top, Everton are 3rd, and we are 7th in the table. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.